What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild on Madden 22, and today it is of the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know why I'm at week 11, very random, but obviously this won't technically start until we're actually into the draft, which of course we're going to be a little bit lessened on picks, but that's a good thing if you're a Raiders fan because you get Davante Adams out of it. Obviously, Davante Adams is a pretty good wide receiver. Some would say, you know, a decent name. Obviously, this season, we're not going to care about the stats or anything like that, but he got paid. Davante, once again, on the Raiders now, playing with his college quarterback. You know, kind of a situation, you know, where I wasn't really thinking about how it could be Rodgers' fault. I think a lot of people were talking about, you know, the wrong reason for it being Rodgers' fault that the Packers lost out on Davante isn't because of how much he got paid, but more importantly, could they get Rodgers back? And because it took so long, you know, Green Bay was hesitant of giving him that money because 28.5 is a lot of money for a 29-year-old wide receiver. Don't get me wrong, he's a great guy and he's the #1 wide receiver in the league without a doubt. I'm not going to be salty about it or something like that, but we really don't know what happened. When you become 31, 32, things change, and that's only about 2 seasons away. He's going to be 30, you know, like near the end of the season upcoming. So if you don't have a guy like Rodgers, is there really a good reason to re-sign him for a 5-year, you know, super massive deal? I don't know. So I can see why Green Bay was hesitant. You know, it's kind of reported that maybe they were offering him 23, 24 per, which isn't terrible, but obviously his number was a little bit closer to 30, as we can see. And ultimately, Green Bay kind of waited too long, you know, kind of severed the ties a little bit. But I will say, when Rodgers was kind of contemplating just not even coming back last season, like when Davante was still on contract for a full year still, he was talking about it would be a dream to play with Derek Carr. It would be a dream to join the Raiders. So we don't know. Davante may have been thinking in his head, if I don't win a Super Bowl this season, I'm gone no matter what. So we don't know. Unless they were going to offer him 30 per or more, he may have already been gone before this season started. It really would not surprise me. But at the end of the day, the whole point is Davante is a Raider. As far as Green Bay going forward, they were going to be in a tough spot if they kept Davante, so it may in the end be just a win-win. Someone doesn't have to lose in a trade every time. A lot of the times they do, but you don't always have to lose in a trade. Of course, Green Bay, the way it was set up, I mean, Davante could have left for nothing had, you know, not been for the tag, or it went differently. You know, Green Bay would have kept him on that tag and, you know, hopefully get him to talk with contracts again or play, and he was just like, nope, not going to do it. I'll sit out all year. I don't care. And it hurts Green Bay more. But a first and a second round pick, the receiver draft is decent enough, especially with speed, which Green Bay has lacked for years now. There's still a chance Green Bay could, you know, go for Jarvis Landry, who I don't know if he really fits as the #1 wide receiver type. Maybe take the risk on Julio, bring MVS back, something like that. There's definitely a lot of options for Green Bay. And then, more importantly, talking about the Raiders side of this, obviously, you know, what we're kind of focused on here is Davante definitely gets the win out of anyone in this situation. Whether he wins a playoff game, wins a Super Bowl, doesn't get to the playoffs, doesn't matter. As far as him personally, a lot of pressure has been taken off of him in Green Bay. The only pressure that was really taken off of him is the run game, which obviously the Raiders have a decent run game themselves. Renfro and him easily make for the best route running duo in the league now. It's not even close. Edwards is still developing. He's a decent player that could develop into a solid #2, maybe even #1 one year or one day, which I really was hoping Green Bay was going to have him a part of the trade. I think if Bryan Edwards was a part of that trade, no one can complain at all. But somehow they didn't add somebody, you know? And then, of course, Darren Waller, a very big mismatch beast. Definitely need to work on the offensive line a bit in Vegas, but outside of that, I mean, they're in a good spot. Added Chandler Jones, they added Rakia Sin. Is it Sin or Scene? I don't even know, but Rakia is now on the team. Could use a linebacker or two, but overall, the Raiders did a pretty good job. Davante obviously took the huge dub, and it's a promising situation still in Green Bay, especially with a weaker division around them compared to this one, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So at the end of the day, it's a Raiders rebuild. We're done with the Green Bay side of this thing. And, yeah, let's hopefully have an okay draft despite not having many picks. And then, you know, really make a push next season. The real question is, how much cap does this team have? I'm going to be honest. I ain't going to cap. Oh, so clever. I don't really know the situation contractually. I thought Derek Carr needs to get paid as well still. This is a team that's got to be in a little bit of a bad spot cap-wise, or will be next season at least. I mean, there's some guys here that are definitely on their way to getting paid, so definitely have to look a little more into that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and hopefully, once again, we can draft a starting lineman or two even this year. As I get done paying Aaron Rodgers a filthy, disturbing amount of money, I will say one more thing about the Packers. I did say before all this happened, before Rodgers got re-signed, before you know, Davante got traded and all that, maybe even before Rodgers was talking about being unhappy, just looking at the future contracts, I did say out of the big three, if you will, in Green Bay, Rodgers, Davante, and Jair, if keeping Davante and or Rodgers meant losing Jair, I didn't want to do it. So I was saying out of the three, I wanted to keep Jair the most because he's the youngest and he's the most fun to watch for me, and he's like basically my favorite player on the team, and he's obviously the youngest of the bunch. If this is what, you know, happens, if this is how we get him re-signed long term, you know, cleanly and comfortably, I'm absolutely all down. I'm down for it. Once again, it's not like a salty, oh, well, this is my way of coping with losing Davante. Because losing Davante is going to suck for the next several years at least. But, yeah, I mean, Jair is he's just that dude. Jair Stan here. So Derek Carr is going to need a contract. Clellan probably just going to get let go. Kenyon Drake probably going to get let go, maybe even before then. Jacobs needs a contract. I mean, this team's in an okay spot, but once again, at least on paper, on Madden paper, if you will, it's not that great of a roster. I don't see ourselves, you know, winning the Super Bowl without, you know, really drafting some really good players or adding some decent talent to the squad. Probably the biggest thing we could add, once again, is offensive linemen. And then, once again, it wouldn't hurt to add a linebacker or two. And by linebacker or two, I mean definitely at least two. Crosby gets a dev up. I did put the XP sliders to 0, so no one will go up in overall, but obviously you can't, you know, the regression is still going to be something. Maybe I'll fix Chandler because, you know, he's still good enough at his age. He doesn't need to be fixed right now, but he's still good enough at his age. There's a reason why he got a decent deal still. And Max Crosby, I'll allow superstar. He's developed well enough to deserve it, in my opinion, so... yeah, I mean, linebackers, which there's a decent bit of okay ones this year, and I suppose linemen, really the biggest needs around. I mean, it'd be interesting to see Trent Brown come to the Raiders again. He was there for like a year, wasn't he? It was like really weird how he just like left. Or was it 2 years? Okay. 2 years, 1 year, same difference. Let's take a look who's actually in free agency, though. Obviously, this is kind of like real life right now. Tom Brady, I keep forgetting to add his contract back, but, you know, why even? You know, why does he not have his contract set anyways? Julio's a free agent. This team's not really in the market for a wide receiver right now, obviously. But realistically, it doesn't seem like there's any DJ Reed. I keep forgetting about him, too, but some of these guys are pretty low end, so you can't really blame me for not having every single contract perfect. It would be nice to just get a linebacker in free agency, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, we're probably just going to be chilling, and hopefully the draft treats us well. It's not the strongest draft class in the world, but picks 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 2/5 anyways, not that great. Definitely would like to see a little bit more, because once again, I think with the way the rest of the division is built, it's going to be very tough for this team to make a run in real life. So, I mean, I don't want to call this next season, the first season, if you will, just a nothing season, but I'm not going to have that many high hopes. I'll put it that way. So we have a fifth-year option here, and no is the answer. Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I think we're just going to re-sign him straight up as well. All right. Obviously, I keep seeing that the Giants keep getting the pick over the Texans. I don't know if I'm making a mistake or if it's just like, you know, different like tiebreakers or whatever, you know, setting that up. But Just because his team doesn't have a first or a second this year doesn't mean they can't trade up. I don't imagine they would, but, you know, if you see yourself as a team that's ready to go now and you're like, you know, we get that one lineman, we're ready to go, you know, maybe think about it, or get stuck in the draft and can't even do anything anyways. Somehow Falele is still here and Kinnard. I'm kind of just waiting for one of them to go, and then I'll make a trade up. I mean, I like both of them. I feel like we've had Falele a lot. So I'd prefer for them, you know, someone to just take him. So then, oh wow, Salier's gone as well. So, you know, we can just go with him. Olave is all the way in the third. And I guess somehow we're trading up to the Texans to grab Falele in the third round. Okay, I mean, that's a bit of a steal. I don't know, maybe, I mean, the height is not always a great thing. Obviously, you would love having an anchor, but you know, the quarterback does have to see over him. I know it's a right tackle, so it's not as bad as like if he was like a 6'8" guard or something. But I mean, I guess there's some concerns there, I suppose. But you know, that's really just me trying to make an argument. A fourth next. I feel like maybe a 6 would have to be a part of it. And that was just a smoke screen. Didn't actually add anything to that, obviously. Let's see if they take the trade up. They do. The Texans interconference, but it's not a big deal. Daniel Falele is going to be taken here in the high of the third. Obviously, we had a couple other guys, but they all somehow went first. So I'm just going to try to pretend that this is Kinnard instead, which is, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because I think Kinnard might also be a star. Hopefully, Daniel's still a star. I believe he is. He's 6'9". My apologies, sir. Once again, 63 speed, 71 excel. I thought I edited that to be 68 speed, 74 excel, but, you know, things happen. And I would love to trade up again, but I don't know if we can, honestly. I really want Muma, who could still be here in real life, perhaps, if you're lucky. It's not the worst. It's probably, you know, more realistic than freaking Falele, to be honest, but the question is, how much are you willing to move up here? The Jets, but I mean, you kind of have to give up that third if you want this, which I mean, I kind of do. We make the trade. We're doing it. Yeah, I think I am going to be taking Muma here. Don't know a whole lot about him. I just know that in real life, he's a pretty decent prospect. Hopefully, he is still here. Chad Muma, hidden development trait, 85 speed, 87 excel, 84 agility, 76 change of direction, automatic starter. Next pick we have is in the 5th round, unfortunately. I don't think you can afford to trade up anymore. We've already knocked ourselves down to a 1st, a 2nd, and like a 4th or a 5th. I don't even know, but do we actually have back-to-back picks, or is this glitched? Like, I think we did have 2 5ths, but I don't actually know. Is every single player we wanted gone? It wouldn't surprise me, in fairness, but still, I'd be still disappointed. I think if I take a player here, I'm just going to be reaching just for positional need rather than actual talent. So I'm going to be trading this to Seattle next year for their 4th round pick, which, of course, is projected pretty well because, once again, no Russell Wilson, if you haven't been paying attention. And apparently 1 pick lower and all the 4th round offers are gone. They're all pissed. They all wanted Jeffrey Gunter, apparently. With that being said, I think I'm going to take a chance on Josh Revis. It looks like Revis. 87 strength, not super athletic. A little bit of a bigger build, I suppose. I mean, I don't know how that works out, but it means a 5th round guard. What can I ask for? All right, so we traded our pick down again. Got a Bears 6th round pick next year, something like that, 6 and a 7, something like that. And we're headed to look at the draft recap. We got a couple of starting caliber players. May have also grabbed a guard that's not going to be useful for us. 66 overalls is fun. Daniel is going to be playing the right tackle spot. I suppose technically the right tackle spot's a bit easier, so I can't imagine he'd be complaining. So we're going to move him over there. And then we could technically use any of the outside positions. So Muma, I suppose, will be right out. But yes, I know, super realistic to have 3 draft picks. But considering we had no 1st, no 2nd, and we traded up twice to grab starting caliber players, I can't really be mad with only drafting 3 players, unfortunately. Bro, we got 53 active players on the roster. 53 of 53, and this is what I'm staring at. Why? So we finally have it all set up for the first actual year. Interior of the line is definitely needing, you know, a bit of a boost. Daniel and Colton definitely set at tackle. Wide receiver 2, maybe we'll need a new guy. I don't know how Edwards is going to develop. He's 23. He's got time still. Obviously, Davante Adams set at number 1. Renfrow, want to keep him as a slot. Going forward, Jacobs hopefully gets a superstar. Derek Carr hopefully gets a superstar. If he plays really well, we can boost his overall. Because once again, he is one of those underrated type guys in real life where he could just boom any time. I think it's fair to develop him based on that rather than just based on the way the game looks at him. Cornerbacks, DBs in general are okay. Could use an upgrade at safety, maybe even at corner. D-line, we didn't even get a number 2 DT, so William Golson's going to be playing that spot. He kind of played on the interior quite a bit. So, I mean, fair enough. And linebacker absolutely needs a boost. Diablo's probably not it. Denzel Perriman definitely isn't it after maybe a season or 2 from now. My man! Hunter Renfrow got the superstar development trait upgrade, 8K XP. That's a win. And in case you guys think I cheated or something, we did lose by 3, but he balled out of his mind. I mean, it's not like he's the only guy that did, but absolute beast mode. And, superstar development trait, Hunter Renfrow. All right, so contracts. Derek Carr, 2-year 60, which in today's market is actually not terrible. Looking pretty good touchdown to pick ratio. I haven't changed the scheme or anything like that. I think we're going to give Derek Carr a 4-year extension worth 124. There was definitely talks about, is Derek Carr the guy? Can they do better? Are they committed to him? Of course, Renfrow, very good route runner, but at the end of the day, is a slot receiver, so a 4-year 51 is still pretty costly, all things considered. So giving him that contract, you brought in Davante, you got to assume they're pretty committed to him as long as he plays at least averagely or slightly above averagely, and he looks pretty good so far. Bilal Nichols, I don't know if that was a 1-year deal they signed in real life, but I'm definitely going to keep him here. Trayvon Mullen is pretty cheap right now. I'm going to give him like a 6-year 65. I think that's pretty fair. Maybe worth a little bit more, perhaps. And then Abram, we might have to keep just because we have so many different needs that I really don't want to have to work on that too right now. And even if, he isn't the guy long term, we could always just put him as number 2. That's not crazy money for backup. Which, speaking of not crazy money for a backup, I think, my man here, worst comes to worst, can play the number 3 spot. So a 3 or 24 isn't terrible. Playoffs, and we're not in them. 8 and 9, once again, a tough division. Chargers are 9 and 8. The Broncos are 9 and 8. It's just not an easy division to win in. Let's take a look at the numbers. See if we had anyone that played pretty well or not. Derek Carr, pretty good numbers. Is it good enough for Superstar? I don't know. Good enough for an 86 overall, in my opinion. Josh Jacobs, maybe not good enough for Superstar, but glad to re-sign him. Drake, I'm glad we didn't pay him. Davante, 1,076 yards, 9 touchdowns, down from last year. Renfro's pretty good. Bryan Edwards, pretty good. Waller, a pretty spread offense here this season. Offensive line was pretty rough. Chandler Jones, 22 sacks, 14.5 for Max Crosby. I think to keep Chandler Jones at least as a 90 overall is fair. Once again, he is aging, so don't want to cheat it too much. But, he deserves to be right, considering he's Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe even defensive, at least for the AFC side, maybe for the entire league. There's some pretty good pass rushers in the AFC now, and it's not super easy to win it, but he did. And, no playoffs, unfortunately, but could be some dev-ups, which would be pretty clutch. Which, speaking of dev-ups, none for Jacobs, but like we said with Derek Carr, he is now a superstar development trait quarterback with inside Deadeye and roaming Deadeye. Not terrible. Let's take a look at the defense. Any dev-ups? Muma, who I assume was star. I don't remember if we actually checked. And I think that was the only dev-up, but that's fine. Diablo, but at this point, I don't even know if I believe in him. But Muma, Mr. 72 overall, not bad. Secure tackler, pretty good ability as well. And Diablo, at least he's, he's something. He's got some sort of developability. And safety maybe. Middle linebacker probably. DT number 1, absolutely. And then interior of the line, without a doubt. Maybe Leatherwood will be fine, but everyone else definitely needs to be replaced. Still going to probably have Edwards as the number 2, even though Renfrow, in game, it's kind of like you can't really say that a slot receiver can only do slot things, but Yeah, release is really bad for him, which is, I mean, I guess his release isn't the best, but it's definitely better than 65 in my opinion. So that's a little bit of a strange one. It's like they forgot to upgrade or something. But Chiefs versus the Cowboys, we have about 34 mil, and we just got done paying a lot of players. 54 mil, we just got done paying a lot of players. And once again, the Chiefs, they win the Super Bowl. I want it to be us, not our division rivals, damn it. For negotiations, I think we're going to let Denzel walk. Drake, definitely. Cleveland, I mean, there's just really no one here to re-sign. 34 years old, I'm surprised he's even in the league. So what was that, 57 overall was that? Let's take a look at the team salaries just to make sure we know what we can spend going forward. There's got to be a couple of names like Waller here. You could see Crosby's going to be a fortune. So you got to consider about 10 mils gone there. I don't know how these contracts, we don't care. 10 mil was gone there. Another 6 gone here. But that's kind of it, right? I don't really see any other names to my knowledge. We re-signed Bilal Nichols as well. It was like a 4-year 35 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, we can spend some money. I mean, I say we can easily get rid of 30 to 40 mil for some sort of starter to this season if we really wanted to. Although I do have to pay attention to make sure that, like someone like Chandler Jones didn't retire, because, I mean, he's like 33, regressing, I suppose. It's important to pay attention to those things. So interior of the line would be helpful. Don't really like spending too much on guards, though. Middle linebacker, if there's someone here like a Devin White or something, absolutely paying him. Corner wouldn't be the worst. Once again, Rakia would still be a good pricing for number 3. Same with safety. DT1, middle linebacker 1, though. Those are the, without a doubt, number 1 needs, if you will. Number 1 needs. I mean, it's kind of, it's like number 1 and 2. But Tyreek Hill's here, not going to entertain that. Lamar Jackson, that's hilarious. Elton Jenkins, maybe, probably not. You can see they also got rid of Amos. I don't know, I guess we, instead of, guessing, when it's a big enough name, especially when they're young, we can obviously take a look at the players and see, what went wrong. If you see Tyreek Hill's gone, but, what's his name? Juju Smith-Schuster got re-signed, which kind of seems like he did. They lost Hardman and Tyreek. You got to imagine one of them would stay, so I'd probably just not touch Tyreek. And then same with Green Bay, who did they pay? If they paid, Jordan Love to be a backup, that just makes no sense, which Jordan Love is the starter. So why can't they afford Elton Jenkins? They have no left guard. Maybe they're going to put Bozeman, who probably could play guard, over at guard, I suppose, maybe. We'll say, without a doubt, they are in a bit of a hole. But Elton Jenkins, who, like I said, probably will play tackle in real life, could be an expensive piece. Maybe they can't afford him. What do they got? I mean, they've got money on top of money. I mean, I'm not going to sign him just because, I don't know why they let him go in the first place. It's just really unrealistic. Why is Elton Jenkins not being signed lately? He normally is always signed in game, but now all of a sudden he's just not signed. Javon Hargreave, this is a guy that very well could be a free agent in real life. He's, I believe, on a 1-year remaining deal. Philadelphia losing potentially Fletcher Cox would make it more likely for them to re-sign him after the season's up, but that is still a very fair contract for him to be, to be out and about. As far as McCole Hardman goes, don't really need him. Superstar Dev, though, would be super sick. Middle linebacker, Levante. I mean, we need a middle linebacker, but am I really willing to do that? I don't know. Darnell Savage would be cool, but, I mean, there's just so many Packers players here that just simply wouldn't be. You lost Rodgers, you have no Davante, who are you paying? It just doesn't make any sense. But do I really want to pay Levante David a 2-year 20? I mean, we need that position pretty badly. Still extremely good. Screw it, dude. Levante, welcome to the team, potentially. All right, we only offered on 2 names, as all the other players we didn't need, or they were unrealistic. And we got both of them. The very big addition, specifically Hargrave, is, our DT number 2 was pretty bad last year, and now Hargrave potentially just becomes the DT number 1 right out the gate. Should have our own first and second round pick, which, since we missed the playoffs, should still be halfway decent. Derek Carr, we're going to bump his overall a little bit. Left guard, center, definitely looking into that for sure. Wide receiver, I think it's a little premature. Linebacker could still be an option, and then safety could still be an option. But offensive line seems to be the, without a doubt, number 1 need. All right, so we have pick 14 overall. I didn't really think about that being an option. I know that it's a higher pick, but I didn't really think about that, to be honest, even though I probably should, as we have other needs, but I think offensive line is still the #1 need. There's a good guard up here, or looks to be a good guard. I didn't fully scout him because I just felt like I knew enough. That just looks like a pretty good player. I'm pretty sure he was athletic. Athletic enough. The rest, though, were kind of bad. The next highest were these kind of guys. We also have a Linder I didn't get to fully take a look at. I just don't know who else is really worth taking outside of this guard. So I'm going to move down to like 24, maybe add a first-round pick because I think there are a couple of quarterbacks there. And, we land extra picks, we land the linemen, and, everyone's happy. Cardinals wanted to move up from 23 to 14. We get a 55 and 151 this year for that, which is a huge W. If this guard's gone, though, it's going to be a huge L, which he could be, because this guy was on my list as well, Rhodes, and he was a 1-2 as well. Our guard is still there, thankfully, and we're going to be grabbing here Matthew Young, 86 strength, expected 86, 87, hidden development trade, automatic plug-and-play starter. And we're going to be trying to grab that center as well a little bit later. But pick 14 in the second round. May grab a cornerback. We'll see. Oh, I didn't get to see the zone coverage, but he's so fast. I don't know if I can take him. I had him on my list, but I don't know if I can actually take him. What about this guy, Mr. Frazier? We still have a chance. D zone coverage. So, what if our other guy is D as well? I don't know if you could take a risk on that. I was kind of looking for a corner that could also maybe play safety if it came to it. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. There is another free safety. He's tall, but once again, don't know much about him either because scouting in this game is super flawed. Either way, we're going to go to our second pick of the draft, which is going to be pick 14 in the second round, which is our pick. We also have 23, obviously. With this pick, though, we may take the corner. I'm debating on it. And I'm not really sure what I want to do here. The safety, Walter Boss. Like I said, not a lot known about him, but he's 6'4", 21 years old. Pretty good at agility drills, pretty good speed and all that. It says solid speed, elite agility, decent excel, which could be like 88 speed, 90 agility, 85 excel, which sucks, but for a rebuild sense, that's not the worst thing in the world. Could start out the gate at strong. Linder was the guy they mentioned, but he was pretty bad, to be honest. Levi Seymour isn't really I'm not interested in him anymore. Safety's up there for a need. Man coverage is C. I would hope that maybe zone coverage would be a B+. We're going to risk it. We're going to take Walter Boss, and wow, was that not a good decision. Very good jumping, though. Speed and excel suck. And his agility is decent, but, even if he's a good overall, I don't think it matters, to be honest. There's really not a whole lot we could do with that. Trade to the Niners to grab a 6th this and a 7th next, only moving back 1 spot, which is a huge win, as long as they don't take the center. Hopefully that guard's good. Obviously he's hidden, but, that free safety, not a great pick. Lions are going to be dropping us into the 3rd, but they're going to give us a 4th next year, which is a huge win. And honestly, I think I'm going to stop messing around, and if that center is hopefully still there, I'm going to take him right here and kind of finish the draft for what we need. The rest is kind of just on top. What about Kendall Townsend? We scouted him a little bit more. D pass block. That's a bit iffy. I'm going to be honest, that's a bit iffy. So hopefully the center's good. It's all I can really say. I've seen a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough to make me feel good enough to grab him. And please be hidden. He is. I was a little worried he's going to be normal, but we at least killed it with the linemen, and those were, once again, obviously the #1 positional needs. Pick 4 in the 4th round. If any of those linebackers I was looking at are there, I might grab them because they were pretty athletic, and that's kind of, once again, the thing I always look for, believe it or not. Davante Harris, 6'3", 22 years old, pretty damn fast for a 6'3" linebacker. Be catching. We're going to take the chance on a Davante Harris. Normal dev, but 80 jumping, which is crazy. 89 speed and 91 excel is insane. Change direction's a little bit low, but, it's a linebacker. It's still a really good pick. And this guy might be a little bit of a reach, but he's super strong, pretty big. Rodney Stanley, normal development trait, 92 strength, super slow, but Maybe a potential DT for the team. I don't know. We're going to trade this pick down, though, I'll tell you that. Which will net us a 4th from the Buccaneers next. Not a bad trade. We're going to grab a backup running back. Dalton Collins, projected, undrafted. Looked pretty elusive. Not really, though, to be honest, especially for 185. All right, let's take a look at the draft recap. Grabbed a couple of hidden development trade linemen. And, ooh, okay, some pretty good overalls. 74 overall left guard, 71 overall center. I suppose we'll take a look at the actual, devs, because they're going to be starters automatically. What if we can get any value for the current starters, or once upon a time current starters? Matthew Young, star dev. I thought maybe there was a chance at Superstar. Once again, not an easy position to draft. Walter Boss, 73 overall. He was a good overall, obviously, but still, I mean, I just don't know how you could start a guy that is that slow with normal. And then Peter Vickers, very talented, actually. And then let's take a look at his dev. Maybe he's a superstar. Back with Rodney Hudson, maybe. Maybe rebuilding his line back into that squad. It is not. It's also a star development trade. The middle linebacker, though, 70 overall. Not bad. Definitely not bad. What is this catching? It said B or something like that. It was 64, which is kind of meh. Iffy hit power, really bad block shed. 69 overall for the DT. Actually not terrible. 72 power, 72 block shed. Super strong. That's a decent pick, I suppose. Maybe not the right scheme fit, but he's here nonetheless. Was there anyone else we were kind of like looking at? Maybe, I think there was the cornerback. I can't really remember his name, but I'd say it's pretty easy to remember as soon as we find him. Here he is, Brian Oden, 74 overall. He was normal. Very good zone, in fairness, 76. Would have been our starting safety, especially with 76 hit power for a corner. That's actually not actually that bad. Right, here's the squad for, what is this, year 2, year 3? I don't even freaking know, but Davante Adams, obviously a beast still, even though he dropped to a 98. He's 30 now, and still really good. See if you get a better season, though, with Renfro playing the number 2, technically slot spot, number 3. You got to go Madden realism. He'll get more snaps, more catches, and whatnot if he plays the number 2 and is number 1 in the slot. O-line, right guard, Leatherwood is a guy that, he was an okay pick. Not a good one, but he's okay enough for us to start, and obviously the rest is pretty good. Finally, Waller's obviously a beast. I think we have to pay him this season. Levante David will be good for at least a year, even though we paid him for 2, so hopefully he can be good for 2. Javon Hargreave was a huge addition. Strong safety, Boss is playing the number 2 spot, and then Harris is actually the number 1 over Diablo, as he's already a higher overall, so we'll see what happens, but, I mean, you might as well play him as the starter, right? Andy's a rookie. Negotiations, Max Crosby. That's one of the ones you kind of have to worry about. A 4-year deal worth about 85. I mean, I feel like he's worth well more than that. A 5-year 112, I think, is fair enough, considering in this realm the salary cap probably wouldn't have reached too crazy of a height. Darren Waller's number is technically lower than the tag, but it just makes no sense to pay him a 5-year 62 when he's 30. I'd prefer like a 3-year or a 4-year even. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen. Brian Edwards, a guy that has developed pretty decently. He just hasn't actually played super well. He's played well, but has he played well enough to get a contract when we have our number 1 and quote-unquote number 2? I feel like you can get a Brian Edwards type pretty easily in the draft, even in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. A 3-year 22 isn't crazy, though. Javon Hargreave, maybe you replace him because, he's kind of on the older side. We'll pay Brian a 3-year 23. I mean, is this receiving group good enough to get to the Super Bowl? I just don't know. I'm actually shocked. And wow, even more shocked. I assumed we were in the playoffs, but clearly not. I was more shocked by the fact that the Chiefs went 7-10. How is that even possible? Look at this. Look. I mean, they won a couple of games near the end, but yo, they're so bad. And I know we missed the playoffs here, but what can really be done? Davante Adams still killed it. Derek Carr was pretty damn good himself. Josh Jacobs was pretty solid. Waller wasn't super great, but Edwards and Renfro were decent enough. I mean, looking at the blocking, let's see. Let's not talk about it. Javon Hargreave was pretty good with 10.5 sacks, 19 for Chandler Jones, only 7.5 for Crosby, though, which is really sad. Interceptions, we got some picks, nothing too magical. Daniel Carlson, not looking half bad. And that's kind of it. I mean, I really cannot believe... Actually, we'll take a look at some awards because we might have actually won some, but I actually can't believe they're that bad. I mean, how are the Chiefs that bad of a team? MVP goes to Jonathan Taylor. Would we have won? Yeah, I was about to say Chandler Jones maybe, and he did. Chandler Jones is definitely a huge addition to this squad. Obviously, so is Davante Adams, but the two guys that are kind of the reason for doing this rebuild have been absolutely impressive. They've been really solid. Obviously, Davante's a little bit slower than before this season, but if they can get this kind of a season from Davante this many years in, absolutely worth the trade. And obviously, it's unlikely, but he could drop off pretty fast. So I'm not going to say like it's, we expect him to do well still for many years, but you just don't know, right? So the Panthers win the Super Bowl. Yeah, suck it, Broncos. So I'm just saying, it's at least, as expected, a good win for them. As far as Derek Carr goes, once again, we're talking about... Josh Jacobs, did he go to Superstar? I don't imagine he was Superstar. Yeah, nice. Renfro, my man. What ability did he end up getting, actually? Oops, wrong one. Jukebox. That's kind of broken for a slower guy. Kind of unfair as well. 28 years old, a slow player drops in speed and acceleration? That has got to be the unluckiest roll I've ever seen. What is this? This reminds me of our Adoree Jackson dev drop, or overall drop, when he turned like the literal age to start regressing in our Titans franchise that one year. He dropped like 2 speed. How does a guy with 86 speed drop a speed, and he dropped 2 acceleration with 90 excel? I mean, I've seen guys that are like, 95, 96 speed not lose a speed at 28 with Superstar. That is harsh. Of course, with Derek Carr, he hasn't played, like the craziest player ever. He's not like the greatest of all time, but I think he is a little bit better than this. I think, especially since he's an X Factor, he should probably be at least an 88 overall. I think that's pretty fair, right? He took his team close to the playoffs, whereas Mahomes, who has a way worse team, obviously didn't come as close. Let's get him to, like I said, about an 88 overall. I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with this, and if they do, well, I don't really care, to be honest. I think it's fair. He's still got a long time left in his career. Obviously, EA in the normal rosters would be boosting his overall if he played really well, so that's what I'm going to do. You can't dev up a player once they're past their prime in franchise. But let's take a look at any other things. So defensively is Muma, Mr. X Factor man himself, looking like a base. What does he got? Zone Hawk. Not bad. He doesn't even have his 80 overall or 85 overall upgrade on defense. Hargrave, I believe, was only star. And I was kind of thinking about letting him go, letting him move on. But I don't know. I'm starting to think with that season he had, he deserves a contract. He's still pretty damn good. We definitely need a corner. Safety, Boss probably takes the number 1 spot this season. Linebacker is definitely on the list, as we have an aging Lavonte David. We have just a not good Diablo. I know he's 26 now, and he's athletic, but it's not the only thing that matters. And then Chandler Jones, I get he's still playing at a high level, but he is still a good overall. And you can't just keep a guy good forever, because then it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Like, if you keep... Well, to be honest, he could retire on us. I don't know if we've passed... Did we pass retirements yet? I don't think we did. He could actually retire, like, right here. But, if you kept fixing the age drop for old players, they would never retire, right? That's kind of the whole point. Even if they have a good year. Him getting 19 sacks in general is already pretty crazy, so we'll just take what we can get. Please tell me Chandler didn't retire. I know his contract's a little costly, but I love him. I'm keeping him if I can. Yeah, Chandler, big boy. Of course, we did lose Lavonte, but that could be a blessing in disguise, as he was only a 79 overall. Cornerbacks in need. Linebackers still in need. Harris actually has some potential for sure, but we definitely need to at least replace Diablo. DTs, I'm honestly cool with keeping, so if Hargreave wants to come back. Waller wasn't great, but I would tag him. So, I don't want to give him that big deal, and honestly, the way he played kind of proved that we were right, as he seemed very replaceable. Javon Hargreave, I think, is deserved probably something around a 13 mil mark, and if he doesn't accept it, that's, 12.5, what can I do, honestly? Thank you. I was about to say, what can I do? That's a huge offer for a guy that, was only asking for 9. Mr. Waller, what is he asking for now? A 4-year 49, 3-year 32. You'd like to play for a new team? Well, you're not going to be. Yeah, you're not going to be 14.5. What can you say? You don't want to play in the tag. You're 31 years old. Your market's not going to be crazy anyways. Although I will say, I definitely, at 29 or 30, 29, I could see someone playing on the tag, but 31, dude, that's, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I kind of chalk it up to EA, though, because at 31, that's pretty harsh to ask for more than 3 years. 3 years, I think, is fair at 31. But the game said, no, we're just going to say he's playing on the tag, whatever. 26 mil, I might have to take a look and see if we can replace anyone that we have. Danielle Hunter's a free agent. Obviously, it'd be great to grab him, but we have Chandler, and I don't think we can get rid of him even if we wanted to, which it's pretty hard to get rid of a guy that just put up 19 sacks. Wills probably resigns with the Browns, but even if he didn't, once again, we're kind of broke. And our offensive line is actually in a pretty good spot right now, so the main thing I would like to do is add a linebacker. We could probably do that in the draft. And maybe a corner, but I'm not really seeing any crazy cornerbacks here. Rock Ya-Sin is pretty much, just as good as any of the guys here right now. They're not really going to develop that well at all. Tutu Atwell. I don't know, I said that name. Abrams going to be the backup. Boss actually does have some potential. And once again, I don't mind Abrams' contract. You need multiple safeties if you can get them. It kind of sucks. Who the hell was that X Factor? I saw an X Factor, Anthony Barr. We need a linebacker. Devondre is kind of like, the guy that we just replaced, Levante, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling Devondre here. I just don't. If I'm going to spend some money, I'll offer Devondre a 1-year 4. He accepts, he doesn't, oh well. Leatherwood, I hope would accept a lower contract when, his time comes this season, but we're probably still going to look to draft a guy just in case. And I think we're good elsewhere. We could use a real backup running back, but, I don't know who you would grab. All these guys are kind of nearing the end of their careers. Justice Hill, maybe grab our man again. Maybe just draft a guy, honestly. Salvon Ahmed, actually. So no one really big, but let's see if we get any of them anyways. Devondre could accept. A 1-year 4 isn't terrible at his age, and he does. That's pretty clutch for us. A 1-year 4 mil for a 79 overall who's still got a little bit left in the tank, that's not terrible. Damn, 31 years old, no regression. That's just crazy. Bro, how the hell is Diablo still here? Do we pay him, or is he just entering year 3? I kind of, when I see year 3, I think, oh, it's technically his 4th, But, all right. Lamar Knox, why does he just use the doorbell? Right, so we have pick 18. There are a lot of DBs, a lot of cornerbacks. There could be a lot that go around here, though, as well. But I think we should trade back, and I honestly just want to use it as, a reason to not have to choose the corners. There's literally 3 corners, and that's just on our board. There's probably even more in general. Let's see. Yeah, there's 2 ahead of it. There's just no point in drafting ahead of all these other teams for the cornerbacks when, there's just so many here. I'd be willing to take either of the 3 that we have there. So I'm going to be trading back to 27, I think. It's not a great second-round pick, but 25 is a little closer anyways. I'm willing to do it. And they do take a quarterback, so I feel a little bit better about taking that second round off of them, even though we were rather close, to be honest. We were still pretty close with them. Still seeing some cornerbacks on the board. I don't know who the hell I want, honestly, so I'm kind of just hoping one more goes. It's just any of these teams behind us could go corner, but at the same time, we just don't need someone so much more than the other. Honestly, we don't even need anyone. We could just rock with the group we have, but I think it is smart in this class to grab one because there's just so many decent ones. But we have 3 starting caliber guys still literally there. So we give 25 and 114 to move back 5 spots, but also move up 20 in the 3rd which, you know, it's kind of a little win for them, but yeah, it's still all right. They need a corner too, probably, and they don't go with one. They go with a wide receiver. Knox goes. Now I'm a little scared. Now the cornerback. Hey, you relax. I think we still have two, though. We do have Darren, Monty, and Saunders. I'd be honest, I probably want Monty a little bit more than Saunders, but we'll see. It's going to be a huge L, though, if we, you know, we end up taking a bad player, and Knox would have been... I probably would have taken Knox over anyone, to be honest, and the Cardinals could use a corner, too, probably. They don't take one. And I think I'm going to take Monty. I'm going to take one last look, though. Saunders was good, too, but I think he's a little more raw, right? Yeah, you see across the board, but something's kind of drawing me in about him. Let's take a look at the 40 time of Monty. If he's faster, I probably will just grab him. Ooh. Now I'm thinking about things. Monty is bigger. I would like him at the number 2 spot. This is tough. I actually think Saunders may be better. 6'3", something's telling me maybe normal. But obviously he is really good at man. I'm going to go for the B, man. I'm going to go for it. Whew, that was close. I thought we almost sold, dude. Would be nice to actually grab the other corner as well. I thought I scouted... Oh, no, I scouted more on Hurst. CCB, obviously. Hey, close to... yeah, the other way. Strong as hell, obviously. Ballard is a guy that I just think he can play edge for us. I think that is probably going to be our choice. We did actually, you know, add that extra pick. I don't know a whole lot about Agnew, but I know he's athletic as hell, super athletic. I'm thinking I might grab him, but I don't know. I mean, we don't really need a linebacker right now, right? I think we have that position set, technically. Just kind of thinking about the future again. So Ballard's a 2 to 3. We have pick 18. I'd like to move to 13 for him. Trade 50 and 116 to move up 6 spots to grab that right end Ballard, who I know he's a huge fella. He's like 300-some pounds. He's got that athleticism. I think will be the future right end of this team or whatever we decide to do, you know, if Chandler Jones retires. But looks really good. B, you know, a bunch of Bs across the board. Super fast. I mean, this guy looks like a freak. We're going to grab him. Hopefully he's hidden. He's not, but 84 speed at 301 is very hard to grasp as a bad thing. I traded a 4th, this, and a 5th next with our, you know, pick we had just now to move up to this pick and grab Darren Agnew. I don't know a whole lot about him other than he's super, super athletic. And honestly, for me as a user, that's all I need to fall in love with a player. Agnew, who is hidden the automatic starter at right outside linebacker, I imagine. Man, that other guy we got is super, super cucked. So we trade 81 and a 102 for 65 from the Seahawks. I know a bunch of trading up, but hey, this is the picks we've earned from trade downs and whatnot. And, you know, we're using them and we're putting them to good use. So what can you say about it? The guard is absolutely my next pick, Derek Pryor. Let's, I mean, grab it, I suppose. Grab him. Hidden development trait. We ballin'. All right, I didn't really want to get rid of Hobbs, but we did. We got Shaq Griffin off of them, but that was really just to save them money to make the trade. 94 for 114 and 126. I mean, honestly, this just feels like a scam, and I'm really sad about it. We trade Diablo and Griffin for a 4th-round pick from the Eagles. Kind of took that Bengals trade out on them, but I will say at the same time, we could have maybe even got more, technically, because that 4th-round pick is pretty trash. We do have a couple of players here that actually look decent. One of them being a running back, ironically enough. I don't want to lose all of these players. There's a wide receiver that looks decent. I don't want to trade up again, though. Like, I know we have 4 first-round picks here. Oh, that was one of them, wasn't it? That was 100% him. I want to see him. I'm trading up. I lied. We only got one guy left. What the hell am I even doing? All right, you know the drill. Trades. Simply put, trades. Running back isn't that big of a need because we could probably just sign some, like, 28, 29-year-old, like, 75 overall, but it does kind of suck. We're going to grab Julian Green, F release, but once again, super athletic, and that's really kind of all you can do as a user. 94 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 agility. Pretty good stuff, actually, but I don't know how good of an overall he'll be. I'm sorry, but we're trading to the Chiefs. They're the only team giving me a 3rd round next year, and this is mid-4th. This is a huge win. Obviously, the Chiefs probably will be back on top after next season, but if he's, if they're 7-10 again or something around that, that's a huge win. I mean, that's like, mid-3rd, getting a lot of value out of that. Keyshawn Linton, 6th-round DT, went up. All right, draft recap. Some pretty good overalls, actually. 73 overall for Monty. We'll take a look at his dev compared to some of the other corners. We may have sold. I'm thinking we may have sold, but he is hidden. Ballard, let's take a good look at how good he is. 74 block shed, 74 power. They give him bull rush, spin move. Strong enough. I would have liked to see 86. And anytime I see 32 bench reps, I think 86 strength. Very fast. Obviously, plenty of potential. He's 21, right? 22, either way, it's still pretty good. Starter next season, most likely. Darren Agnew, hidden development trait, automatic starter. Let's take a look at his Actually, we'll take a look at some of the other overalls first. Green, 71 overall. And very fast. Of course, only has run after the catch, which is the worst one to have by a mile. And then some random DT and whatnot. Nothing really too crazy. How good actually was he? 66, 60. Oh, he's 23, though. Yeah, I mean, he was the only halfway looking, decent-looking DT left, so I was like, screw it, we need some depth. But yeah, that was just a wasted pick. Some of the other guys, we did still trade down for some 6th and 7ths, but Darren Monty, superstar development trade. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we did not sell, that we actually did very well. That's clutch. Darren Agnew, automatic right out, is it that we need? I think it's a right outside linebacker. Try to change him to some other number if we can as well. 45 does look pretty sick. 52 brings back too many memories. Agnew, star development trait. 54 is pretty sick for a linebacker, obviously. Pryor, not the starting guard, but we can now get rid of Leatherwood for sure. I suppose it doesn't matter to look at his dev because, we're not going to start him this season anyways. NFL, though, let's take a look at the cornerbacks that we had a chance at. Where are they? So Lamar Knox is definitely the guy I was going to think about grabbing instead. Whoo, that could have been an L, dude. Normal development trade. I was absolutely thinking about it. Oh, my. And then the other guy that I almost took over him, Saunders, smaller guy, normal as well. We absolutely clutched up. Normally, I figure the 6'3" guys are the guys that are normal because they have so much more going for them, but maybe it is a little bit more random than I thought because, I mean, I've seen a lot of normal devs, 6'3" guys, and it's usually the smaller guys that have the dev, but in this case, we kind of dodged the bullet, it seems. The roster here looking pretty sharp. Renfro is going to be playing the number 2 spot, I suppose. Wide receiver probably does need to be addressed. Bryan Edwards isn't terrible, but he's not quite that guy either. Maybe we should put him at number 2, I guess. I don't know, but Derek Carr is obviously a pretty good overall still. Well, I can't say that. We had literally bumped him up a little bit. Offensive line is pretty good. Just needs to keep developing. Defense, definitely need a replacement for Jones. Ballard hopefully is that guy. DTs may need to be replaced. Linebackers, Agnew might slide, or actually Muma might slide to middle linebacker. And then Harris takes one of the other spots. It's a good team, but the lack of playoffs is definitely hurting our deving chances, right? Like, the more games you win, the better XP you get, especially if you make the playoffs. I actually don't know what's going on with the Chiefs, dude. I really don't. We beat them twice. We literally beat them twice in a season. They're 1-4, 1-5. That's crazy. What happened? To be fair, I do remember that they don't have Tyreek Hill, which is pretty big, but it's not, like end of times big, right? You have Mahomes. Juju's actually a pretty good overall. Kelsey is regressing, but that's going to happen no matter what. Orlando, I mean, they have a good team still, at least on offense. Hey, I ain't going to complain. They can keep losing. I don't care. So we lost our first game against the Chargers, and the Broncos are literally like right on our tails. Chandler Jones is a great player. If he sticks around, he's still playing well, I might give him another deal. I literally might. Trayvon Merrick has been pretty under the radar, but this is still a deal that, I mean, he would at least get like something like 45. 5-year 45 is fair. What else do we have? Leatherwood, very cheap. In fairness, the man is a good person, it seems. And he's still going to be let go. Unfortunately, I mean, not really much we can do about it. Everyone else is kind of a backup, unless you're thinking about losing Colton Miller, which, I mean, he's getting older, but I think we can still keep him for a long time. I don't think there's a reason to grab him. And Hargrave will wait again. We'll see. Might regress hard. He's 31, even with superstars. Still, 31 is 31. Darren Waller. Are we going to do this again, Darren? Darren, are we going to do this again? Might have a chance at the bye week. Do we? Wow, we lost 2 in a row, and we still got the bye week. That's impressive. We're running the Buccaneers playbook on offense. We kept the Raiders defense, ran the Buccaneers playbook since year 2. But let's take a look at the team, see the the win-loss, show you guys we didn't force any wins or anything like that. But crazier is to look at the rest of the division, because this is touted as potentially the best division in football now, yet here they are sucking. Who's the other one? The Broncos. They had a really good start to the season, and then just, I mean, look at these. What? That has never happened, right? 6-1 and then lose every single game after. Once again, they were competitive in most of the games, but that's nuts. They were 6-1 when we were 6-1. I was like, oh damn, they're gonna give us a run for our money. Nope. What the hell? Of course, Derek Carr, pretty similar season to last year. Do you mind sharing with your quarterback, sir? You literally almost out-touchdowned the quarterback. You shouldn't be doing that, Josh. But, of course, that should be X-Factor. This is an insane season. 4 1,000-yard receivers. Could be a dev up for one of these guys, specifically Edwards. Blocking was really, really, really bad, though. The center gave up 10 sacks. How the hell did we do so well? This is the worst sacks allowed I've ever seen. Like the center gave up 10. Chandler Jones, 12.5. I mean, that's kind of good enough for another year, in my opinion, but I don't know if he'll actually stick around. Ballard played the backup role, I think, at DT and D-end, and just got in when he could. And he still got 5.5, which is impressive. 10 for Crosby. 5 picks for Mullen. Could be a dev up for him, which would be massive. Jalen Carlson missed another 3 kicks on the year, but that's fine. That's okay. Let's take a look at, so MVP obviously was Christian McCaffrey, but let's take a look at if we won anything. Anything at all. Wide receiver Davante. We didn't win best running back? Taylor's got to stop. That guy's a freak, dude. How the hell does 25 touchdowns, 1,500 yards not win you MVP? What is this guy up to? What the hell is this guy's problem? 19, I mean, more yards, 19 touchdowns. I don't know about receiving, though. 303 with 3, where I can't imagine Jacobs would have had much. I think our man's still the MVP, especially when you consider the fact that he has a lesser line and he's not the kind of guy to break off huge runs. You know, he's a slower power back. I'd give it to Jacobs, and that's unbiased, of course. I have no reason to give a Raiders player MVP or anything like that. There's clearly no reason. The Bills, 86 overall. We're an 89. The Bills are sneaky good. They're scary. Going to the end of the game, I think right to left is us, and it is 7-0. This could be a Super Bowl year, and if we do win it, I suppose since it's only year 3 technically, we'll probably try to become a dynasty, but obviously it's easier said than done, and we're not guaranteed to do anything, but it's looking pretty good here going up against these Bills, and the Buccaneers playbook is good, but it's not Chiefs good. I've used the Buccaneers playbook in a lot of different rebuilds, and it's not that good. It's a very stable offense, but as you can see, the quarterback doesn't always have the most touchdowns in the world, and it's good, but it's not broken good. The Chiefs is broken good. That playbook just wins. I don't know how it does. It just does. The Packers are a little bit up there too, but they usually lose a little bit more with the sim. Did you have fun? No. I'm trying to get those numbers down. And I'm not unfairly doing it. I'm not. There's a lot of times where I actually didn't have fun, but I forgot that it skips over, and then I click it, and it's like, oh, stupid game, cheesing me. So I'm trying to catch up on those. I'm very behind on the fair ratings thing. Of course, Max Crosby, he's good, but he hasn't really played that well, if we're going to be honest. Oh, my God. They made Matthew Young a finesse type. Oh, no. I will say he's like the only guy that hasn't been giving up a bunch of sacks and whatnot, though. He is so good, though. Wow. And I want my guys to be better at man, but in general, slot is a great upgrade. So, as you can see, +2 to man, +2 to tackle. I mean, what can you do? Your guy's going to suck in zone, but man cover or slot upgrades are just so good, dude. And I'm pretty sure that's the best for the abilities as well, at least the second ability. The Patriots, who apparently have Tyreek Hill and also are not using him very well. Who would have thought weak-armed quarterback throwing to fast wide receiver isn't a good combination. All right, going to the end of the game. Left to right is them. I knew it. Oh, my God. We could lose already. 14-3, 21-10. Nice little bounce back, but our defense is dying out here. Down by 15. That is a huge comeback. To only be down 8, to be down 2 only. Defense, come on. Wake up, defense. Offense doesn't do enough. I think the Patriots have won this game, right? I mean, we could come in and try to win it, but I'd prefer them to... I prefer them to be able to do it on their own a little bit. Davante, not actually the guy. It's going to be Renfro. He's a very good route runner, though, so let's see it. We're waiting for it. It's not quite PA crossers, but it's pretty damn good, obviously. We're going to spike it. Wow, Derek Carr, you really dropped the ball here, buddy. I also do kind of miss our Raiders franchise a little bit, so this gives me a little dose of that. Not like a crazy dose, but a dose. It's Davante. Oh, no shot, dude. Of course, they still have... Wait. That's not J.C. Jackson. Someone else probably, right? They wouldn't have J.C. Jackson on this. I don't know. It's some other guy. Davante. Of course, I don't know what the damn play is half the time because the scenario here. I wanted to get that to B, but I'm going to Aaron Rodgers this thing and force it to Davante. I mean, Derek Carr this thing. I don't know how Derek Carr and him are going to play. I'd say there's going to be a little bit of forcing, but there are some more options around here, so not really forced into anything. And there goes Davante again. I mean, how else would you do it? How else would you get down here? I know it's a little bit different because he kind of was down to just him, but Matthew Stafford didn't throw to not Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl on that final drive, did he? Huh? Did he? Waller is going to be my guy here, though. And there he is, wide open. Was that them going over to Davante? That'd actually be really interesting if that was... Don't think it was. I think it was Renfro, but either way, it doesn't matter to me. They got to go for the 2 here? No? No, they don't. 2 minutes left. Oh, we coming in for this. We watching this one. 3rd and 8. Manned up. I don't think so. We'll go with Ballard, who is apparently in. It's interesting. Ballard! I don't give a damn, dude. Hey, I don't care. As they're going to have to punt. Mac Jones is having himself a game, though. I don't know if the Patriots deserve it, but I know we do, so I'm okay with coming in. This is a little bit of a reach for me to try and win the game for them, but it is what it is. Oh, God. Oh, you know, we kind of didn't need that, Harris. That's why you're not a starter. 90 yards, and you still need the 2-point. Davante in the slot. Renfro out wide, which is... You know, Davante in the slot's one thing, but Renfro out wide. Was that a hold? I mean, I respect the grind, but, guys... I'm losing it. All the way down to the 5. And Daniel was the guy that didn't need the help the most. I think he was the guy winning his route the most or winning his matchup the most. All right, Davante. Oh, I did not think he was going to get up there for that. I touched past it, I thought. Oh, I just sold. I told you I don't always help win the game. I thought I touched past it. Because obviously he's open there, and the ball just kind of goes down. Even then, that is a pretty nice jump. Who is this, Brown? The corner with insane speed. I'd imagine if he's fast, he's probably got good jumping. 80 jumping. Wow, that's like a linebacker. Oh, well, we lost. Unless a miracle happens. Nope. Instant touchdown. I'm not going to come in to win this. Well, that's a GG. 33-48. Ultimately, Derek Carr sold way too hard. He threw 4 picks on his own. Probably would have thrown a 5th or more if we didn't come in anyways. But also the defense. I mean, obviously those picks suck, but a defense that is supposed to be as good as we are has got to do better. Simply put, you have elite edge, decent DTs, tons of talent and speed at linebacker. The corners are solid. The safeties are super athletic. Well... The free safety is super athletic. The strong safety is big. But yeah, I mean, we are kind of an underdog type team. Like, we're a good team. We had a really good year. But our roster is a little bit worse than I would have expected at this point. All right, Patriots versus the Cowboys. America's not Super Bowl. And the winner is the Patriots. I still feel like people would accept that more than the Cowboys, believe it or not. But let's take a look at any dev-ups if we had any. Josh Jacobs probably not. Okay. Edwards only went up like an overall in the season. Renfro went up like an overall. Wide receiver is on the radar. It is on the radar. We do need to try to save money, though, so I'm not going to be paying anyone in free agency, even if I feel like it's kind of a, you know, this is the window type situation. Davante Adams down to an 98. Derek Carr's an 88. Looking at the defense, we had Mullen with a dev up. So now we have 2 superstar corners. Boss is a star. Agnew is already star. Okay, I mean, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to try to save some money with Hargreave, I think, though, because didn't really have the year we were hoping he would, and he is an 82 overall now. Bilal Nichols could be on his way out as well. Need a DT. Ballard, I mean, I think Chandler might have to go, unless he's gone, because once again, he's pretty old. Retirement-wise is, very close, so I'm going to be very sad. It doesn't look like it, though, because if, Melvin just retired there at 10 years in the league, you would assume Chandler would be there too, right? Let's take a look at the negotiations. Let's see what we're looking at. So Waller on the tagging end makes no sense. You can see here, I mean, he would have had a really good deal with us if he would have just taken this in the first place. A 3-year 28. What do you mean? 17 mil is beyond fair. I mean, he would absolutely take a 17 mil tag at this point. Last season's debatable. This season, he would take it 100%. How much money do we have to give Chandler? We have the money, and I really like him. But can I really justify spending that much? I can. I absolutely can. Excited to get back to work. So after our re-signings and the tag of Waller, it says we have 34 mil, which I don't think is actually true. Let's see if we can actually release anyone as well, because there's got to be some contracts here we'd be willing to get rid of. So Davante Adams, a huge hit this year, but next year should be fine. Derek Carr is up there, but it's fine. Crosby, whatever. Chandler, all these contracts are actually pretty fair, right? Rocky Yassin, I don't know if we can get rid of him. Every contract is built the same. Like, for him, absolutely, this would be a year where you could get rid of him. All that money would be pushed forward, especially for a team that has the cap early. But I guess we'll be stuck with him. But I'm cool with all the contracts we have, so maybe we spend 10 to 15. Maybe if there is that wide receiver that we were talking about, a really good number 2, if they're decently young, we might grab them. Joe Mixon would be great. No need, though. Hopkins, not really young. Would be sick combo, but I just don't think it's big enough of a need to make a play for. Aaron Jones is only star dev here. Keenan Allen would be nice. I know Davante and Keenan talked about, linking up at some point. That'd be a pretty sick duo. But I just don't know if I can justify that. Ooh, Cameron Hayward at DT, though. How good is he still? Oh, he good. My man, good. I'm willing to pay. I don't know if this is the move to put us over the top, but it's a 1-year deal anyways. Oh, damn, Cincy. Could you not? Obviously, they could use a DT. I would assume Reader's gone. I don't know if I really want to pay this, though. It's a lot of money. Like, do you really view this as the move? 85 overall is low, but he is really good. Those abilities, if you're using them, but I don't know, man. I mean, that's 17 mil left over. I mean, some of these contracts we have to pay are probably pretty high. And you almost argue it's like, would you rather have Hopkins, who's not crazy higher, but you are locked in for 3? Nah, I don't think you can pay that. So I think Hayward's a good idea. I like it. I also don't know if he's going to join us anyway, so it could be completely irrelevant. And let's see if we got him. Win or get him or not, I'm okay with it. And we do get him. I'm a little surprised. He chose us. Wow. I feel honored. He also does jump to an 87 at DT, so fair enough. Where's inside stuff? Oh, crap. I don't remember what this one was. I think it was this. I only remember the way it looks. And then run stuffer. But I still think DT is one of the biggest needs on the team. I think if there's a sick tight end, you maybe grab him because obviously you're not really looking at a whole lot with Waller going forward. Wide receivers up there. I mean, don't think the line. I think as long as we can afford them, we're good. I mean, all the ages are fine. DT, though, I think is the position. That's the position. All right, so we have officially the worst pick in the draft. Pick 30, as I always say, is the worst. 31 and 32, at least you made the Super Bowl, and at least you won the Super Bowl. But if you get 30, that means you have the last pick that involves not making the Super Bowl. Of course, if you trade for pick 31 or 32, that's a little different, but you know what I mean. Of course, there's a couple of DTs here. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know if this guy's going to be there, but B's across the board usually means hidden. It's not guaranteed, but it's usually a pretty safe bet. Hardwick, didn't really get to fully see him, but he also could be B's across the board. Ultra athletic, super strong. That's probably the #1 look. You also have Damien Parrish. Didn't fully scout him, but the reason why I didn't is because he's super fast. He's got an A tackle, and that's really all I need to see. Also an A play rec, apparently, but that's really all I need to see. You also have a lesser talent, but A zone coverage, which is a great sign. Decently athletic, decently fast. Only need one linebacker. That could be the bet. This guy's a pass rusher. This guy doesn't look good, but he's fast. Lonnie Armstead, B finesse move, which was good enough for me. 4.7 for a guy that is 270 isn't bad. There's also a very good tight end here based on speed. I mean, that's just an insane speed. But I don't know if that's really something we need to do now, especially when you have a guy like Tim Barden, who has an A catch in traffic and is also athletic enough. Might be worth taking a shot. But yeah, there's a bunch of guys here. I think Torrance would be the middle linebacker pick. And then one of the DTs, specifically Hardwick, would be our DT selection. There's a lot of good DTs, but let's move to pick 30, see who's there, and move on. The thing with Hardwick is I don't want to jump the gun, and I also don't want to lose him. Also, Leon Charles is still there, but I feel like you could probably trade down and still get Hardwick, so I'm going to move down to 12, and then he should still be there. Teams don't really like to give up quantity like we did, but a 6 this, a 6 next, and 30 to grab 43 and 75 this year. Most of the trades were thirds next. I feel like this could be our year, so trying to add as much talent this year as I can. That pick was pretty good. I did it, I said it, and I don't regret it. Of course, he gets to pick 11 instead of 12 or so, but it's kind of what we were looking for, 10 to 13-ish, just like Jeff nothing. That was unexpected. Damien Parrish looks really good, though. Do you not just, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're probably looking to start whatever linebacker we get. Do you not just, jump the gun, grab that guy? Worst case, you might still get Torrance. We might. We'll see. Dion Hardwick is the pick. Risky-ish, but he's super athletic. You got to imagine, even if he's normal, he's a good player. So we're going to grab him, Dion Hardwick, and he is hidden. That is an amazing pick, actually, because he's really athletic and strong, and, he's just kind of cute, to be honest. What? So we give them 62, 94, and Rivas for 44. Or Rivas, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, because he's off the team. And hell, we might be able to still land the other linebacker anyways. I think this is a good decision. The tight end's still there, though. Bro, we can't pull a Minnesota Vikings, even though it's, a different situation. And by that, I mean you can't grab 3 first-round picks, if you will. I'm still going to take Damien Parrish. He might suck. Nope. Nope. Sounds like that freaking meme. I was about to say he might suck because, yeah, he's a 1 to 2, but this is a bit far down for a 2, especially a hidden development trade player. But I'm kind of thinking about taking the tight end as well. I mean, we still have enough to trade up. We have a couple of high thirds. Look, 73, 75. Once again, I'm not saying we're all in for this year, but we have a pretty good chance to win it this year, and even then, these players are good long-term regardless. It says this trade is very even, yeah, and they take it. So it says we gained about 10 points, which is maybe a late 7th. I don't really give a damn, to be honest, but let's take the tight end as well, I suppose. Is he worth it, though? Only know is he got a B catch, but that 40 time and all that is elite. Elite speed, elite change of direction, great excel, and agility. What about the other guy? This guy is pretty good too, considering you don't have to waste a high pick on him, but, poor excel, great speed. He's just not as athletic as this guy. He's literally replacing Waller, even though this guy's a little bit shorter, with a new Waller, or an OJ Howard, which, maybe none. Either way, Kevin Foster, welcome to the team. And also hidden. I mean, this is just the perfect draft. Our next pick is in the 4th round. I still kind of want to make a play for the other linebacker, though. Could use a lineman-ish. Giamello wouldn't be the worst player in the world. He's okay. I see enough there to potentially see hidden. Not guaranteed, though, so I probably won't go for him. If Barden's there in the 5th, I might grab him just for the hell of it. I do want to see how good he is. Blake Steffensen, didn't really know a whole lot about him, but You know, he's a pass rusher. He's really fast. That's kind of all I needed to know. I think I'm going to go to the 3rd round and maybe make one final trade up if I can. This has been a really good draft for us. Like, really good. So, if I can keep attempting to add more players in a draft we're killing, I'm going to do it. All right, this was actually a close trade. We give them a 4th this, which is kind of late, a 6th this, which I think is actually kind of early, and then a 3rd next year for 65. Even then, you know, they're projecting us to be pretty bad. Well, good, bad pick. So, I mean, it's kind of close, I suppose. But with this pick, assuming that middle linebacker is still there, Mr. Bruce Torrance, another guy that looks really, really good. Kind of a can't miss. We'll see if he is. And he was. I mean, if we can't afford Muma, I suppose we have it all situated. Let's go to the start of the next round. I doubt we'll trade up this time, but if one of those really talented players is still there, maybe. And we do have the corner. I scouted him a little bit more than I honestly thought. Oh, maybe I didn't scout him. Maybe the game did. Be catching. I mean, if he's there, I think we'll grab him, but I don't. He's athletic, but he's not like the greatest player ever. Lonnie Armstead. To be fair, we do only have like one decent pick left, so I'm just going to go until one of them's gone, and then we'll just, you know, do the trade up. And that was quick. I will say we kind of needed the edge a little bit more, but I suppose. I'm surprised that went, but 2 7th-round picks. I mean, for a team that's still kind of rebuilding a little bit, I suppose that does add a lot of value. Jamie McClain, welcome to the team, speedster. Okay. Pretty fast with the excel and the agility, or the speed. Change direction's good enough. Jumping's a little iffy. Agility's a little iffy. And with those ratings, I can't imagine he's going to be higher than like a 67 overall, but it is what it is. I mean, we hit really well on all the other picks. There's still a 1st-round projected guy here. He's fast enough. Screw it. I mean, I just want some depth. 89 speed, 92 agility, 87 excel. He is 5'11", so that is pretty bad for that height, but it is what it is. He's a 1st-round projected, so if he was even like a 65+, that's an okay pick. Got to give him a chance, right? Let's take a look at the draft recap. Some pretty decent overalls. He's a 63, dude. If he at least has good traits. Wow, he sucks. He's terrible. But all right, let's take a look at some of our guys. So Dion Hardwick, I don't want to look at his depth because he's actually really good. He may actually have a chance to start. I have to take a look at who the hell is it? Bilal Nichols, but he may have a chance to start. Of course, Damien Parrish is automatically starting. Don't get me wrong, the other guy's also hidden, but my man's here is just too damn athletic. So we're going to take a look at his dev and put him at, what is it? Is it left out? I think it's left out that we need. And I might actually trade the middle linebacker that we had, or we didn't start. His name is Davante Harris, I think his name is. Superstar, nice. Of course, Kevin Foster, also a good player. Possession, runner after the catch. You would love to see aggressive. Number 40 is also something you would not love to see. Kind of curious to see what his dev is. Probably will be star, but you never know. I don't really like any of these numbers, to be honest. 84, I guess. And also superstar. Wow. That's mighty impressive. Bruce Torrance. Pretty good. Wow, he's actually really good at good catching. Jumping's pretty solid. Great hit power. I didn't even see the other guy's hit power, but this guy might actually be better, but he's not going to start because this guy is a little bit later. Bruce Torrance, yeah, he also is only star, so I mean, that would be cheating technically, but we already had our mind made up. So Jamie McClain, not a bad looking safety guy. I don't know if we have safety backups. We have Abram, actually. Never mind. I was going to put him at safety, but there's no point. We already have Abram. All right, not bad. Not bad. I don't think there was anything else we wanted to look at, right? I think all the other players were kind of like iffy. There was some good DTs, but we obviously landed a pretty good one ourselves. We don't know his dev. He could be a superstar or X Factor. It's been a while since we've drafted an actual X Factor, so let's see Bilal, because that rookie is very good. I imagine Bilal's got to be very good at one of the styles, or, you know, we'll never find out. I mean, in my personal expertise, I do not see a reason not to start Mr. Hardwick. He's a better pass rusher. He's not much worse of a block shedder. The tackling is, you know, pretty big, but from my experience, tackling, maybe not in sim maybe it matters, but tackling doesn't really matter too much for DT. You know, it's really just about getting there more than anything. Even if you don't grab him specifically, you'll be the guy that forces him to change direction, and that's usually all it takes. Of course, Bilal Nichols, he's an 82 overall, could still be worth like a 4th-round pick. I mean, in my opinion, 4th or 5th, probably maybe a 5th. And that's exactly what we do. Bilal Nichols to the Cardinals for what appears to probably be like a mid to late 5th. I don't know. We'll see, but I mean, it's something. We took a little bit of a hit, but obviously we gained value for a guy that we're not using. What a name, Andrew Andrews. Okay, I mean, not gonna, hurt his feelings, but sounds like someone wasn't planned for. So we trade Harris and a 5th-round pick for the Jags' 3rd round, which is like a late 3rd. Harris was a high 4th, and obviously, you look at his speed, look at all those traits he has. He's a very good player. He just never got a chance to start, and he still won't get a chance to start, at least with us. But with a new team, he will, and it's a good fit for the Jaguars, so we're not going to say much more about it. We need a backup running back. I don't know what our cap situation is because we may have taken a couple of hits here, but overall, it's a good team. I can tell you that. I just don't know how long it'll be good because we might run out of money. Going to get Ahmed in free agency recently enough. We get him here in free agency recently enough. All right, here's the squad for year 4 now. Very solid offense. Renfrow, I thought, maybe we should have went for a new wide receiver, but I mean, I kind of like the way things are going. We're starting to maybe head towards Green Bay territory where he doesn't have a whole lot of help once Waller leaves, but I mean, we got Foster, who's an athletic freak. Renfrow is a good route runner. He's still a good player. Jacobs is a good running back. Carr's a pretty good quarterback. O-line's pretty solid. I mean, not quite, but it's getting there. We might need a wide receiver soon, especially since we have Renfrow at number 2 rather than being the slot guy. D-line, I will admit, is kind of getting a little pathetic. Chandler Jones is still good, but he's going to retire. Cameron Hayward might retire. He's a 1-year deal. Muma plays middle linebacker, so our linebacking group is best that it's been by far. Super athletic, of course. Safeties are good. Corners are good. It's a good team. Is it good enough? We really need some good development this season, of course. That's not a great start. You get some upgrades, but that's good. How in the world does 2 awareness... What was the upgrade? 83 overall gets 3 play rec, 2 awareness, a block shed, and a strength, and it doesn't go up in overall? As far as like a user, I'm like, that's a pretty bad upgrade. But for an AI and a rebuild, that's like goated. Awareness and play rec is like the ultimate overall upgrader. I do not know how the hell he didn't go up in overall from that. That's crazy. Someone in their 90s, I would have thought, would have went up in overall. And not age, obviously. All right, we're about to find out if we're about to go broke or not. Darren Waller, I think you kind of have to let him go. We've gotten his replacement. He regressed very hard last season. Colton Miller's a left tackle. Oh, we rich as hell. The hell? Oh, come on, Colton. AJ Cole, I mean, we don't really need a punter that badly. Actually, to be fair, I didn't test that. I tested kicker, which I imagine if kicker is the way it is, punter's probably the same. Muma needs to upgrade his block shedding, but a 7-year 76 sounds good to me. Daniel, how's Daniel developing? Oh my god, they got him as a freaking power guy, dude. Oh my god. Why didn't the AI auto upgrade the correct thing? I mean, it's just like simple things of the game that they just don't have correct. Daniel Carlson, we've proven that kickers, it doesn't matter, but it's a realistic rebuild, so we're going to sign him because he's playing decently enough. Rakia is going to be gone, and Chandler Jones will probably retire on us. Hayward will probably be unusable or retired, and we just got to re-sign Colton, and we'll have money still. All right, heads to the playoffs. Kind of a good finish. Well, we kind of lost, but we'll take a look at the win-loss. You know, what teams kind of gave us troubles. We had a really bad start to the season. Kind of had a good run near the last 2 games. 3 losses there, but last 2 games, I automatically thought we were going to beat the Giants, but I suppose the Giants and Sim kind of do make a lot of Super Bowls, surprisingly. But let's take a look at the stats. Is that Rondale Moore on the top of the leaderboards? Of course, Derek Carr, not a great season, to be honest. Jacobs wasn't that great. Davante was pretty good. Renfrow was pretty good. Waller was okay. Edwards was okay. O-line was awful. 24 sacks allowed. Once again, it could be the fact that he's kind of a finesse type, but what does the sim do that anyways? Of course, looking at Chandler Jones, we're going to miss him dearly. This guy has been a beast for us. 15.5 for Crosby. At least he finally shows up. Hardwick with 9 out the gate. Hayward really didn't do a whole lot for us. I mean, look at these numbers. I mean, these are some good numbers. I mean, he's better than freaking Arizona almost, like, technically with that freaking 1-sack season. But, yeah, I mean, pretty good numbers, obviously. What about Hayward's tackle for a loss? I mean, not even much better than Hardwick, so... Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hoping that his overall can carry the team a little bit rather than his performance, because his performances suck. Derrick Henry MVP. That's a name you don't really see in sim enough. That is, finally seeing his name is kind of good. Hardwick, Defensive Rookie of the Year, doesn't surprise me. Actually deserved for once, and no other award, unfortunately. But still in the postseason. Still kind of could be our year. I mean, you look at our team versus the Browns. We're a 91 overall. The Browns are an 87. That's got to put us... #1 team, I would say, right? And speaking of, Cameron Hayward, this might be him. One last hurrah. And it's Chandler Jones. No, please. Potential retirement. Uh-oh. One more season. One more year. One more year. I mean, even though if we win, we're not doing one more year. Going up against those Browns. 4 overalls on them. Come on, EA. Do the right thing for once. Ooh, snowy game. This looks beautiful. I'm going to kick off. No one needed to hear that today, but I love a nighttime snow game so much, dude. Even though, as of late, as a Packers fan, those have been not my favorite time. God, it's just so awesome. It's just so awesome. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. It's just so nice. Of course, they get the ball first, but they do nothing. We do nothing. They do nothing. We do something. 7-7. More than 7-7. Or not. Yep, 7-10. 14-10. Halftime, it's a weird one, but there's a lot of snow. So, I mean, you can see why that would happen. Of course, 28-13 now. The Browns not going away, but that field goal might be enough to put it away. It's not. And Cleveland had one last gasp there. Could not do it, though, as we are going to move on to the divisional round. Deshaun Watson, technically, not even technically, he just outplayed Derek Carr, simply put. Nick Chubb did not outplay Jacobs. Jacobs was great for us. Both running backs really couldn't break anything free. Davante with 100 yards. Edwards was decent. Renfro was solid with those touchdowns. Defensively, Chandler. No Chandler Jones today, but that's fine. That's all right. Naked Man with a couple of sacks. Greg Newsome with an interception, and Eddie Pinheiro blocked once, but just in general, missing 2 kicks, which, with the way they kind of drove down there near the end, may have been enough to cost them that game. Like, why does the game, maybe it is because of scheme, but, like, why does the game flip the thing? Like, interior, no matter what your scheme is, it should be a power. You should want to be focused on power as an interior guy. I obviously know that interior guys can use finesse moves, but the guys on the inside are usually going to be bigger. They're always going to be, usually going to be power guys. Why are our tackles focused on power rushers and our guards are focused on finesse rushers? Like, what are we doing here, game? Come on. Hey, at least the center knows what he's doing. And ironically enough, the center is probably a guy that can kind of, tilt either way. But I don't know what to tell you, man. Daniel with his power style blocking, which I suppose is... kind of a fit for him specifically, but definitely needs to work on the finesse, right? Like, that's what people are going to do. I mean, if you're 380 pounds, why the hell would you work on power defense? Like, who the hell wants to freaking try to bull rush you? All right, the Buffalo Bills, who are 7-10. Okay, I mean, I suppose this is something we should be happy to see, but I mean, can't really, anything can happen. All right, going to the end of the game. Buffalo driving down 3-0, 3-3. 10-3. 10-10. Offense, that's okay. It's okay. 10 all. Oh, maybe not so okay. Hey, only field goal, man. There we go. Huge passing touchdown. Might have been to Davante. 27-13. And defenses, they really came alive, but we broke out just enough. Just enough. Derek Carr super outperformed Josh Allen. Definitely an upgrade from last week, but it was a lot of snow, so I'm not going to blame him. Renfro crushing it. Davante Adams, pretty good stuff. Sack totals, nothing crazy. Chandler, our boy. Yeah, I love Chandler Jones. 2 out of 3 for Daniel Carlson. And let's exit this. Hey, Redford got a speed back. What's his speed? 86, damn it. Of course, Trayvon Merrick, a guy that, his zone coverage probably should be pretty good by now. A speed upgrade for him, too. That's pretty clutch. 91 zone coverage, 91 speed. I thought he would have been a little bit faster than that, but still pretty good, obviously. One last hurrah. Chandler Jones has got to be juiced out of his mind at this point. Like, what are we just pumping drugs into him? It's like, what are they going to do? Suspend you? You're going to be retired? Hey. Oh, man. 10 morale. Oh, it gives him morale to everyone. No way. Championship round against the Who. That's not against the Who. It's the Titans. Wait, what overall were they? That wasn't an 89, right? Sure, that was like an 83. 3s and 9s look pretty similar, especially when you're wasted. See if we can make the Super Bowl. 3-0. 3-all. Ooh, man, the MVP coming up with a huge run probably. 17-10, 17-17. Oh, that's a huge touchdown before half. This is a bit of a score. Come on, Raiders. There you go. Tied up. No, come on. Oh, hey, where is it their ball? No. Wait, well, it's, oh, wait, 30. I can't see what situation it is. It's a field goal, right? Nice. Okay, defense. Wait, that was 4th and 3. I want to see what the situation is. They're going to kick the field goal. And iced. What up, boy? He ain't kicking this damn thing, dude. All right, McClain. Send us to the Super Bowl, buddy. Do it. No. He shanked it. He shanked the thing. At least it was realistic, right? Like, it wasn't that far off. Mobley. Who the hell is Mobley? Get your dick. No. Moby. Okay. Didn't really work out that way, but the Raiders headed to the bowl of soup. I actually kind of want to see what that guy's rating is. Maybe he does suck, which I hope he does, because that's his fault, not mine. Kicking. Oh my, what the hell is this? 72 overall? He can't be that good. He's got to suck. He must suck. 69. I don't feel bad, dude. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. To the Super Bowl! The Raiders! They're in! Of course, outplayed by Kyle Trask. Way to go, Derek. Although, if trends are right, bad, good, bad, it's, hey, could be a good Super Bowl for us. Derrick Henry had a good game, but Jacobs actually beat him, which is insane. Yards, pretty average, whatever. No one cares. Chandler? Yeah, Chandler! 1.5, not bad. Adam Paxton interception. 2 misses for them, 1 for us. Can we, just remove kicking from the sport? Please? I know it says football, but, please? By the way, when it says morale for all players, did it say just defense, or is it everyone? That's for all players. That's kind of broken, though, isn't it? Realistically, what's stopping you week 17 or week 18 from signing some, old dude that you don't even care about, and then maybe they give you a scenario, and he doesn't even start, but he's just giving you morale boosts just for the hell of it. Let's see how the Saints got here. Of course, the Saints are a pretty good team, I'd imagine, still, so it's not, crazy to expect that. That's the wrong thing. Saints, 52-21, and then back-to-back 38-24, so they can score some points. That is not a good sign for us, because we've been kind of winning because of our defense. Offense has actually been selling pretty hard, but let's take a look at any dev-ups we may have had. Renfro? No. Jacobs? No. Defensively, maybe. Parrish was actually a superstar already, actually, now I remember. Boss is a superstar, though. All right, fair enough. Big 6'4" monster with Tackle Supreme. Okay, it sounds like Taco Supreme, but you would do what you do. 89 zone coverage, not terrible. It's a good team. It's a 91 overall. There's some morale boosts in there as well. This is our chance. If we don't win it here, unless there's some crazy free agents, I don't see how we could win it next year, which, of course, would be the last season if we need it, because that would be 5 years, and Chandler Jones is retiring. This is the perfect rebuild if you win. And if you lose, it's a big L. Bert. All right, going to the end of the game. The Saints coming down fast with 3 points. Now with 10 points. Raiders 10-3. Raiders 10-10. Tied up still 10-10. Second half there. They're all over our red zone. They finally scored We're up by 3, though, with 10 minutes left in the fourth. Oof, only up by 6. But offense looks like it might be able to hold on. And it does! The Raiders with Davante Adams win the Super Bowl. It was a bit tougher than it needed to be, as Matt Corral is not even that great. Derek Carr was a bit shaky in the postseason, ain't gonna lie. Jacobs was pretty consistent. Adams was pretty damn good. Chandler Jones going out with a bang with 3 sacks. Of course, Daniel Carlson misses a field goal. Who would have expected it? But the Raiders are Super Bowl champions. They've done it. Their moves have worked. Of course, Chandler Jones needed that extra year on him, and it was worth it, as he's now retiring a champion with the Raiders. Couldn't have done it without you. And my orange hats, which, of course, we know is, you know, the Raiders. They obviously wear a lot of orange. What a way to finish it. Super Bowl champion. We'll take a quick look at some of the ratings. There's not a crazy amount of, there's nothing insane, but Derek Carr with that X Factor. It's an 89 overall, looking pretty sharp still, even though he, really didn't play that way, to be honest. Looking at Mr. Hunter Renfrow, the route running guru, super good, just very slow, very slow. Josh Jacobs, see if he actually worked on elusiveness at all. Kinda, 88 juke move, 97 truck, 95 stiff, pretty sick. Davante, who is now 33, is still very good. That's just insane. Like, how the hell? Like, how do you slow him down? Darren Waller's an 89 overall. He's still good, but, we have a beast in the mix waiting. I really don't want to look at Daniel or any of the offensive linemen besides Colton Miller. Everyone is just kind of like a bit of a disaster besides maybe the center. Muma, 88 overall. Mr. Muma. Let's take a look. 85 speed. Not the fastest in the world, but ended up being Yep, he did it. Ended up being a very good coverage guy. Agnew, a bit of a dual threat, dual style, which I like to see. Parrish, let's take a look. Good block shedding. Coverage is pretty awful, though. Boss, we already looked at. Monty, really didn't develop, considering, high dev out the gate, but really good man coverage. 6'3", it's tough to pass on. Mullen, let's take a look at Mullen. Very good man coverage once again. So, we're just like a lockdown man coverage team. And then Max Crosby, who besides this year was actually pretty silent this rebuild, but once again came up when it mattered most this season, even though once again in the postseason was a little off, a little iffy. Trevon Merrick, super strong, super good coverage, fast enough. And yeah, that's going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Las Vegas Raiders post Chandler Jones and Davante Adams additions. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams. I always mention I'll be back at some point. I'm just kind of thinking of what I want to do. Maybe I'll wait until after the relocation series comes out, which I don't know if it's going to be this week or not. I kind of like that roster I used, or the draft class I used for the Texans rebuild. So maybe we'll edit that a little bit and then get going on that. But that's pretty much it. If there's any other kind of moves you want to see, I know that. As I'm recording this, actually, the Matt Ryan trade just happened, so maybe that's one with the Colts. I don't know. It's kind of not that monumental, but if there's anything that I'm missing, you want to see a rebuild of it, let me know in the comment section below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!